Hello, 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 my friends. That's right. It's that time of the year here where things are getting just a little bit crazy. Well, what do I mean by that? Basically, it's not time, or maybe it is time for Mickey Mouse. Because guess what's happening? And if you haven't been watching the news, you need to be ready. You need to be prepared. Um, the storm is coming. The snow is coming, my friends. And so that's why what I wanted to do today was, first of all, wish you, if I haven't spoken to you personally, I wanted to wish you a very happy new year. I wanted to wish you health, which is most important. Okay. Wealth, which is nice to have, and plenty of joy for this new year. So, hopefully, that is how you are starting off your new year. And what I wanted to do is kind of spend a little bit of time with you and go over preparations that you need to probably, if you are in the northeast of Connecticut, I mean the northeast of the United States, if you're in Connecticut, if you're in Mass, if you're in New York, if you're in Vermont, New Hampshire, you probably need to get started now. I mean, you have about a good 8, 9, 10 hours to get started and to be smart, because we're going to talk about how to keep your family, how to keep you home and your home safe during a snowstorm. Now, the smartest way to get a hold of the ahead of that winter weather is to start early, right? So you need to get on it now. Start stocking up, get some things together for the snowstorm supplies, right? And even work out. And I know this might sound a little bit scary, like, come on, Rob, what are you talking about? Well, work out some communication plans with your family. All right, start thinking about some of those things. Work out some communication plans. So, here are some of the steps that you can take. And thank you so much, George and Rob, for your likes. Really appreciate it. Take these steps to protect your family and your home during the worst of the winter weather, which is finally coming today. That's right. Forget about Disney. If you're not in Florida, it's already too late. You're not going to be able to get down to Florida, maybe unless you get in your car right now. Okay. So let's start off. A well stocked family snowstorm emergency kit. This can help you during this winter storm. And what are some of the things that should be included? Start making this list. I'm going to give you 3 seconds. That's right, 3 seconds. Go grab a piece of paper and grab a pen or pencil. Ready? Go grab a piece of paper, grab a pen and pencil, because here it is. Here are the things that are needed for you to have the best snowstorm emergency kit. And you know what? I almost even forgot mentioning the state of Rhode Island, which one of our sons goes to college in. So if you're in the Northeast, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Mass, New York, New Jersey, Vermont, New Hampshire, get things ready, my friends. Get things ready. So here's the list. Number one, you're going to, of course, want to have blankets. It seems straightforward, but if you don't have these blankets ready, you know what? You might find yourself behind the 8 ball, my friends. Okay. So get your blankets together. Number two, flashlight and battery. Battery. You heard what I said. You probably need to go buy some batteries if you don't have those together. Battery operated headlamps. So make sure your battery operated flashlights are working. Get some matches, get a lighter. Make sure you have matches, you have a lighter. How about some bottled water? Now, if you know me or you talk to my kids, they're going to be like, oh, this dude, man, he drinks water from the tap. He's not going to buy bottled water. I can tell you, yes, I am that guy that I do not like to buy bottled water. I hate it. I think it's a ripoff because we have pretty darn good water here where I live. Well, guess what? I need to get some bottled water. So I have that ready already. How about that non-perishable food? So for the water and the food, they actually tell you, which this does sound a little bit scary to me. I'm not going to lie. They tell you should have 3 days. 3 days supply of bottled water for you and your family, 3 days supply of non-perishable food. What are we talking about? We're talking about non-perishable things that do not spoil, right? We're talking about canned goods. We're talking about crackers. We're talking about having can openers available. Don't forget the can opener. We're talking about paper plates. We're talking about utensils. Next item on the list is make sure you have a first aid kit. Okay, have some of those band-aids, God forbid, um, some gauze, some tape, some what do they call it? Biotrusin, the the ointment that you put on to stop infections if you, God forbid, you have a cut or something. So have a first aid kit available. One of the things is next on this list, which I always wanted to buy, and I'll be straightforward with you. You know, here I am talking to you about it. Here I am giving you advice, but I don't have it. I need to get one. Is a battery operated or hand crank radio. So I guess in my basement, I do have a battery operated radio along with a CD player that my wife bought me when we first started dating 15 years ago. I didn't have that in my office, and she bought me one. A little boom box. You know, back in the old days, we had the big boom box, right? And we used to walk around thinking we were cool. Well, was the little boom box. So you got to have one of those battery operated or hand crank radios for weather alerts and for knowing what's going on around you. So get that together. I need to get that. And lastly, that I have on this snowstorm emergency kit list is a portable power pack, right? For cell phones, for laptops, and all that good stuff. Um, One of the things I didn't mention, which I also began working on yesterday, and thank God it started because I didn't use it at all since I bought it. So I don't know if you remember, but about 2 years ago in January, there was going to be this huge snowstorm, and everything was going to be bad, 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 bad. And so I went out, and I actually had bought at the time, I had bought a generator, right? And so I haven't really used it much. I started it last year for about 3 minutes, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, let me check this thing out and make sure that it's working. And basically, my generator was able to get started yesterday. So if you have a generator, go out and make sure that works, right? Be careful with it. Make sure, of course, you're not running it inside. If it's the first time you started using it, make sure the exhaust is going to the outside. Do not bring it in your garage. Do not bring it in your house. Keep it outside running. Okay. So that's the first step, is knowing your snowstorm emergency kit and having that ready. Okay. The next step is designing a family communication snowstorm. Okay. So talk with your family really quick about what you would do if there's a huge snowstorm and if you can't get a hold of each other. Are you going to connect with each other with phone calls? Are you going to make sure you can FaceTime? Are you going to be text messaging? Are you going to be emailing? Are you going to be on your social media account? Do you have a chat group with your family? Do you have a text group with your family? So I'm telling my family right now, hopefully you're listening to this. And I know most of my family, they probably don't even listen to my live videos anymore. They're sick and tired of seeing me talking all this stuff. But I have the text group. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Be ready for texts. God forbid something happens. Don't be looking for me doing live on Facebook. Be looking out for my texts. Okay. Choose an emergency meeting place. Like, let's just say, God forbid, something happens where there's a problem with housing. There's a problem that you can't get to your house, or you need to go to a certain area. Well, where is it that you're going to go? Right? Talk with your children, talk with your mother, with your father. The next item that I wanted to discuss is preparing your vehicle for snowstorms. Like, I already know my car needs new tires. right? So I'm going to try my best not to necessarily use my vehicle. I know I'm going to use my wife's vehicle, but in that vehicle, I'm going to make sure that I have a scraper, right? I'm going to actually have a bag of sand or salt in there, and I'm going to have a vehicle emergency kit in that trunk. In the back there, I'm going to make sure that the tire tread, which I already told you mine is not so great. I'm going to make sure that the car is filled up with gas and it's ready to run. And please, once again, God forbid, I don't want to see somebody. Hey, Jillian, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you being online here. I don't want to hear any news about people with the whole carbon monoxide poisoning. So be careful about running your car. Make sure the garage door is open. Don't play that game thinking you're going to warm things up by being in your car in the garage. And then there's going to be a problem with carbon monoxide. So please, my friends, be really, really careful when it comes to that. Okay. Snowstorm home safety tips indoors. Okay. So all the family members, if they're adults or even young or teenagers, right? They should know the location of the electrical circuit box. They should know where the shutoff valves are. Are there certain shutoff valves for the water? God forbid water pipes start freezing up and burst. Is there shutoff for your natural gas? Is there emergency shutoff for your boiler, for your furnace? Make sure people know where to shut things off, because things like natural gas leaks, explosions, electrical issues, they happen during snowstorms, and we have to be prepared for that. Okay. If the power goes out and your home heating stops working, well, what is your plan? Because you need to stop the pipes from freezing and bursting. Okay. It might mean that you have an electrical heater and you're running that from a generator. It might mean that you have a fireplace and you're prepared to run that, and you want to make sure like cabinet doors would be open so that the warmth can get near those pipes. One of the things is you want those water pipes, they should be insulated if they're close to being outdoors, or if they're unheated, they should be insulated. And the ones that are in your home, they have to have some access to warmth, because once those pipes freeze up, my friends, it can cost you, it's very dangerous, and it can cost you really, really, really probably thousands of dollars. I mean, we're talking about all types of issues that can come up with that, with sheetrock and flooring and all kinds of different things. Okay. Maybe you want to fill some containers with water in case the water shuts off. Okay. You might want to do that. You might want to buy gallons of water. You might want to fill buckets with water. That's up to you. Okay. If you do have a wood burning stove or a wood stove or whatever it might be, stock up on that wood. Get ready to keep that house warm. Make sure your carbon monoxide detector is working, right? And make sure that you are doing things to stop drafts from the cold storm winds, right? So if you get a lot of drafts in your home, now is the time to get, whether it's a blanket or pillows or whatever it might be. I mean, if you don't have plastic, if you don't have caulking, if you don't have weather strip, if you have those things, maybe get those things done now, right? Caulking, weather stripping, plastic. If not, pillows, blankets. Stop those drafts from coming into the home, because it's just going to make your home harder to heat. And then if there's a problem, you are going to have ultimately more issues that you don't want to have. Okay, so that's important for you to know. And then another item that I have here is snowstorm home safety tips for the outdoors. And Casey Queen, thank you so much for joining us. When we talk about the outdoors, make sure your exterior vents, like from your furnace or your boiler and those sorts of things, that they're clear of any snow and ice, because sometimes they could actually overheat and shut off if they're not able to push the exhaust through. Watch your roof, right? Maybe depending on what type of roof you have to do things to avoid a roof cave-in from too much snow. You have to be careful of how is the snow coming off it? Is it clogging? Is it jamming? And then when it melts a little bit, water goes into your house, right? And keep a shovel in your entryway so you can dig your family out if required. So believe it or not, yesterday afternoon, I got the generator started. I made sure I had some bottles of water, which, I don't like to buy those. I put the snow shovels where they need to be. Okay. So my friends, don't get caught unprepared when a snowstorm arrives. Take action now. Prepare yourself, your family, your home for the winter weather. I am definitely hoping that you don't have any problems. I did get a lot of this info from the internet, and hopefully you really found it useful. I'm wishing you the best. I'm wishing you love, safety, happiness. Hopefully you have kind of a fun, cozy, relaxing snowstorm if you're caught in the Northeast. And then you hopefully are going to say some prayers for me, because I'm going to hopefully get on a plane on Monday and go see. Well, I'm not going to go here exactly, but I am going to go down to Florida, and maybe I'll see this little guy down there. So that's everything I got for you. God bless. This is Rob Rosa. Hopefully your favorite real estate broker. Signing out, my friend. Have a great weekend. And maybe you are going to even watch a little bit of football. God bless. We'll talk to you later. Bye.